Day 1, put the whole bird under water, bring it to a low simmer. Just let it do that all day. At night, before you go to bed, turn it off. Day 2, the water will still be warm, so you want to take the chicken out and then take the meat off of it. The meat will be soft. You can just pull it off, all the bones and skin, put that in another bowl. That's going to go back into the stock pot on the stove. The meat is very soft and tender at this point. You can use it in a casserole. You could can it with the stock. If you wait till the second day to do this, it's all going to turn to mush and it will not be usable. Return all the bones and skin, whatever you took off, put it all back in the stock pot and let it continue to simmer. Into day 2, turn it off, go to bed. It's really starting to smell great, make the house smell great. If it boils down too much, just add a little more water. Day 3, yep, turn it back on. Into day 3, turn it off. Now it could be canned at this point, but it's late and I don't want to do it right now. So we'll work on this tomorrow. At the end of the 3rd day or the beginning of the 4th day, it's ready to jar. And you want to heat it back up so that it is warm when it goes in the jars. And we're just going to strain it at this point. We're just going to pour it from one pot to the other through a big strainer. All the bones, anything left, the skins, you can discard it. You can feed it back to your chickens, but you don't need it anymore. So at this point, your stock is done. You can put it in containers and freeze it, or like we do, pressure can it. We're going to start with clean, sanitized jars, and we're just going to fill them up and leave about a 1/2 inch of head space. We're going to put a lid on it and just barely tighten it. In fact, you want it to be loose like that. On a couple of these, we're going to pack with the meat that we took off after the 1st day and then fill that to cover it with the stock. Oddly enough, each jar contains half of the chicken meat. Got a little left over. We're just going to put this in the refrigerator and cook with it here in the next few days.
It makes delicious rice.
Now we're just going to load them into the pressure canner, and this is not a water bath. There's just water in there. You don't have to cover them up. This is a large pressure canner, and I can stack these 2 high. I put the lid on. There's a rocker. We're going to get this to at least 11 psi, but somewhere between 11 and 15. You do have to watch this, because if this thing starts spitting, going psst too much, it's too high. You got to back it off, but you have to control it with the heat. It doesn't do anything automatically. So we've reached 14 psi, so I'm on a low. The reason you use a pressure canner is because you need to get the temperature of the chicken stock up to about 250 degrees. And so we're going to hold it here for an hour. After an hour, we'll just turn the heat off and let it cool down naturally. And the cans should all seal as it cools. Now we're just going to turn it off and wait for the pressure to drop. This button here will drop, and then we'll take them out. I'll let this sit overnight so everything's cooled off. I want to make sure that the lid popped down. Put them on a towel to dry and label them. These are the ones with the meat. They're not the prettiest in the world, but they are preserved. This is gorgeous. Has a nice cloudy consistency to it, and if you put it in the fridge, it probably would turn to a gel. There you go, canning stock.